Welcome back to the missing link. So let's not go there. Let's instead go the way I need to go. Which is off in this area that I explored to a very limited extent last time. Suspicious? What do you mean suspicious? So this will take me directly to the side quest area by the looks of it. Yeah, I suppose it would not be a bad idea to go down there right now, right this second. Because I'll need to explore that upper area either way. So, yeah. Doesn't hurt to go this way. At least to a limited extent, enough to talk to this guy.
Are you Quinn?
Well, if it ain't the bloody Grim Reaper himself.
What are you talking about?
Christ almighty, lad. You got half the garrison shitting themselves and afraid you got on patrol. Look, I don't want no trouble. You hear? The commander said to help you. That's what I'll do. Just don't kill me, all right? I got children. 8 of them. Well, look, I don't really have 8, but... All right, I don't really have any. Just don't fucking shoot me.
Relax. I'm not here to hurt you.
Well, whether that's true or not, I'll take some comfort knowing there's 3 inches of bulletproof glass between us.
Look, Keitner said you can help me. Can you?
Yeah, she told me to be expecting you. I'm just glad you came as soon as you did instead of going off on your own. There's enough kegs of powder lying around here already without throwing another loose cannon in the mix. You know how much we're risking to keep you off the radar? We've only got so much pull around here. It's Burke's show, and he'll do as he bloody well pleases. Which means stamping out any rats the moment he gets wind of them.
I'm grateful, but can we get on with it? I understand you run a nice little sideline in procurement.
Aye. From time to time you might say being inclined to do a little, how should we call it? Bartering. On the side. Since the commander signed off on it, I suppose I could open my stock to you. For a price, that is.
You mean I have to pay?
What? Of course you have to bloody well pay. I ain't exactly a fucking armory quartermaster down here. I'm just a civvy contractor trying to make ends meet. This ain't a bleeding charity.
Considering the circumstances...
Circumstances? What, that you're a fugitive and I'm risking my neck just talking to you? What are you trying to pull here? Although, I don't suppose you had anything to do with the stasis pod that was saved back on the ship.
How do you know about that?
Ah, so it was you, eh? Well, let's just say I have my sources and your little random act of kindness didn't go unnoticed. Tell you what, I'll give you a discount on me wares. Just no freebies or handouts. But now that I think of it, if you're looking for a little something for nothing and don't mind a little legwork, I've got an errand that could use running. Consider it a special offer of sorts. Interested?
What exactly do you do here, Quinn?
In a more civilized world, you might say I pass for the base's lead maintenance engineer. But if you look at it from Beltar's point of view, I might as well just be a glorified janitor. Pays good though, so, you know, not complaining.
If the pay is good, why the underground market?
Well, why not? You see, civilian contractors operate under different jurisdiction when it comes to bringing outside goods into the base. So while the rank and file grunts can only order and receive essentials, toothpaste and the like, I, being the entrepreneurial chap that I am, offer them a more robust catalogue of goods and services. You know the sort. Smokes, beverages, and gentleman's literature.
How does this involve weapons?
Now, let me finish. As an enterprising fellow, I require an exchange of valuables for these slightly less than essential supplies, and often receive some very non-civilian contractor-regulated equipment in exchange, if you catch my drift. Now, normally, I launder my stock through a contact on the mainland, but a deal in Shanghai recently fell through, so lucky for you, I've got some excess inventory to move. Consider this whole arrangement a matter of fortunate timing.
And Keitner is okay with all of this?
Not exactly. You see, some time ago, the commander got wind of my little operation down here. But before she could throw me in the brig, I offered her something I knew she couldn't refuse. Information. I ain't bragging, but I've managed to build myself quite a little network of sparrows and gophers. I'd known for a while that she'd been at odds with that prick Burke. In the end, we reached a rather simple mutual agreement. I keep her in the loop. and she keeps my neck out of the noose, so to speak.
What can you tell me about this base?
Nothing you don't know, probably. To the outside world, it's a Beltar naval logistics headquarters and supply point for their Pacific operations. Beneath the surface, though, it's much, much more.
How so?
Look, nothing personal, mate, but I prefer if the commander did most of the informing. As far as I'm concerned, the less I know, and more importantly, the less I say in this matter, the better off we all are.
Tell me about the commander, Keitner.
Lieutenant Commander, officially. But the grunts don't pay no mind to that. She's the commander as far as they're concerned. It's the Reds who stick to the formalities, you see. Because they're Burke's boys. The spooks. Special operations. You might say there's a bit of a division of loyalty among the troops.
Between Keitner's men and Burke's?
Aye. Since time immortal, there's always been a rivalry of sorts between grunts and spooks. I always assumed it came down to ego. But it's different here. Probably because Burke's different.
What do you mean?
Well, for a start, the man might be a righteous prick, but he's got the respect of his men. And the higher-ups think he's a visionary based on some fancy tech he drummed up a few years back. In other words, the man's got a lot of influence and a lot of power, and, well, I don't think that old proverb needs repeating here.
All right, tell me about this special offer.
Look, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but this base is packing some serious heat. Especially in the form of those walking brick shithouse boxcars. If you get me a few odds and ends, I might be able to whip up a little something to make getting around easier, if you catch my meaning.
What kind of something are we talking about here?
Nothing fancy. Just a 329 series MPRS.
A rocket launcher?
That's right, mate. And custom built. By yours truly, of course. You see, while I might be able to get my fingers on some low-level arms, I'm a little restricted when it comes to military-grade bells and whistles. And I'm itching to try out a new trigger propulsion mix. Maybe even recalibrate the guidance system for some extra punch.
I like the sound of this.
Fucking right, you like the sound of this. It's the bollocks. Look, all you gotta do is find me some components. I'll do the rest. An earlier boat had a shipment of 329s, but I wasn't able to poach any of them before they made it to the armory. Luckily, little Sparrow in my employ managed to lose one through maintenance circulation, but he got himself shit-canned before I could collect. Now my little bute's lying around the base somewhere in bloody pieces. The launcher, I mean, not the wee man. Though, no idea what really happened to him.
Right, so, long story short, you need me to find the parts and bring them back to you.
Yeah, that about sums it up, I'd say. Just find me the trigger module, scope assembly, and launcher barrel, and we're in business. I can scrape up the rest from leftovers here in the shop.
I think I already found one.
Aye. Let me see what you got there. That's the 329's trigger module. Let me know when you find the other two. What are you buying?
I'm buying all sorts of shit, but I'm gonna see if I can sell anything first. Yeah, let's get rid of this. And that'll be all I sell, I guess. All things considered. Yeah, gotta try to do things a little bit differently this time. Certainly buy those, because those are damn useful. Buy one of those. Sure, why not? Let's grab another one of these. I get the feeling I'm gonna be ending up using up all my ammo here. Alright, for right now, that seems good.
Thanks for shopping at Quinn Mart.
Funny. Kind of. Right, so, I'm wondering how I'm going to end up doing this, this particular side quest. There are no quest markers for this one, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But it's going to be pretty difficult trying to, you know, find all these items. Just lying around anywhere without any idea where they could possibly be. Let's see, I wonder how long it's going to take me to find a usable combat rifle. Also, let's just see where this goes, then head back, because I think I actually saw some stun gun darts in that guy's sales inventory. And for some reason, I didn't buy them. Ooh. Damage upgrade. And some beer. Maybe I'll go... Maybe I'll go and buy a shit... a shit ton of his beer. Yeah, you can never have enough of that. Especially with the +5 health bonus. Okay, yeah, that time it doesn't want to open up the menu. I imagine the pistol's gonna be my main gun of choice. As it often ends up being.
Well, if it ain't my favorite and currently only customer. What are you buying?
I have to wonder, because, you know, I'm not really well versed in, I'm guessing Scottish is his accent there. I mean, it seems logical that that would be Scottish, because it kind of sounds like it to me, but I don't want to say for sure, because I don't know for sure. But I'm wondering...
No refunds.
If it's, you know, standard operating procedure, normal and whatnot, for them to be more or less emotionless with a lot of their words. Well, not necessarily emotionless, but, you know, a bit flatter with their, I guess, emotion in their speech than you often hear otherwise. Also, why am I reading this like that? This is not something I've seen before. I should actually read it. The crossbow, SMG, the 357 Magnum. Skull gun. Skull gun. Skull gun. Trying to think. I'm thinking there might have been something similar to that in the first game, but that might have actually just been, you know, a missile defense system in the eye. Not sure how that would work. This is a really nice looking inventory right now. I really wish my refrigerator looked like this, to be honest. We just double check that none of these suddenly have some higher level of health boost. Get 190. We can chug down 2 more. Oh yeah! I just have to laugh at the drunken effects in pretty much any video game that has them. They're just... Well, I can tell you from personal experience that this is way over-exaggerated. I mean, I've done some pretty heavy drinking at times, and at worst there's been, you know, sensitivity to light. Nothing to the extent of... Well, I don't know why I'm really comparing in any serious manner drunk effects in the video game to the real life equivalent. I think I more or less covered that sufficiently enough in joking about how ridiculous it is. War started over oil. When will the human species ever learn? Jay White. I knew somebody with that sort of name back in high school. That is totally useful information. That is not a complete waste of time to mention. Oh, come on. Why can there not be spam here? Come on, can I make it?
Access granted.
Yes! Oh, that is so that was kinda real close there. Namir. Oh, it's John White. Okay. So I didn't know anybody by that name. Gotta love that. Bitching each other out and then making sure to add in at the very end. Ah, you still up for some poker, buddy? No. I will not play poker. I do have to say one thing about Missing Link visually. Even though this volumetric lighting is very clearly something that you would have expected to see in the late 90s, early 2000s, just a semi-transparent texture. I'd have to say visually, while Jensen's textures seem to be a little lower res than they should be, or at least either that or they're just zooming in on him a lot more in the cutscenes here. I'm thinking, yeah, the textures, for the most part, are more or less identical to how they were in the normal game.
Access granted.
But other things like lighting and shading, color contrast, you know, that's genuinely looking a lot better here than it is in Human Revolution. So it seems that, I guess it's in a way kind of like what people say about Club Gitmo, as it's called. Guantanamo Bay. There we go. I was having trouble thinking of the actual non-nickname of that place. You know, detain suspected terrorists and whatnot, allegedly putting them in really shitty conditions. I'm not really saying anything for sure either way, because I don't know either way. I haven't really bothered to, you know, haven't really bothered to really research that sort of thing. But it seems like, once again, fiction is based on reality, or, you know, coincidentally, ends up being very similar to reality at the very least. Also, let's actually use these 3 praxis points instead of just letting them sit there. Okay. It may not be as useful as it would be elsewhere, but I really want to be able to not have to worry about falling damage anymore. And I guess... No, I've only seen 2 level 5s so far. I'm really not sure what I want to go with next. Yeah, EMP shielding. It's useful. Yeah, it's certainly useful, but I don't know if it's something I should buy right this second. Yeah, I'm still doing a lot of hacking, so making that a little stealthier when viruses are a bit less plentiful here would probably be a good idea. And see, this is what I'm talking about. There's actual... Like, I can even tell it in the recorded video. There's an actual really noticeable amount of, you know, difference in the contrast and the lighting, and it looks really nice. I mean, some parts still don't look that impressive, but, you know, considering this is a really good game other than, or despite the, you know, minor graphical letdowns and some of the gameplay design decisions that I don't agree with, it more than makes up for it.
No one's seen this guy. Over.
I'll just let that camera go away and start looking at a safer...
Well, keep your eyes open. Word is he's in Hangshot.
I just need to get him out of the way of the camera, and everything should be fine. Stay nice and stealthy. Relatively speaking, at least. Or I can just, you know, alert this guy. Who seemed to have a little bit of trouble opening a door. Zap. How dramatic. Okay, so there's another guy down the hill. Hall, not hill, Jesus. And I haven't got any long-range, non-lethal options. Don't even have a grenade. Shit. Come on, don't turn on the alarm. Just walk down here slowly, carefully.
This is the spot.
We know someone's here. Keep looking.
Over there.
Oh shit!
I heard him over there.
Okay, was not expecting those guys. I was not paying attention to the minimap at all, if you couldn't already tell.